Hey y'all, it's me Emerald from The Rice Life, and I'm here to do another Ask Em segment. Oh, it always sounds weird saying segment, but anyway, I'm here to do another Ask Em. And first, I want to thank y'all so much for like the overwhelmingly positive responses that I've been getting on these videos. So yeah. So I have this week, once again, I have 3 more questions. So and as I've said it before, if you want to send a question, comment, concern, scenario, whatever, for anything from, I guess, marriage advice to relationship advice, parenting advice, any kind of advice, or just wanting to talk about anything, y'all, just send it to edhill1988@gmail.com, and I will talk about it on an Ask Em segment. So anyway, so like I said, this week, once again, I have 3 questions, and I always try not to make these super long. So you know, I'm just gonna be really concise and straight to the point. So the first one, she said her email wasn't working. So and this is in my comments in the last Ask Em. So she says, my email isn't working, but I do have a question. Tips on being a good and respectful wife, especially with the stress of having 3 small babies. I am a Christian woman, but I find it so hard to be the type of wife that God tells me to be in His Word, especially with all the stresses of motherhood. Okay. I definitely understand where you're coming from. As y'all know, I have 3 children, ages 5, 3, and 1, and next month they'll be 5, 4, and 2. And so I can definitely attest to the fact that I have not been the person that I've always wanted to be, while even being, you know, a parent, a wife, or whatever. So the first thing I do, y'all, and I'm probably gonna say that every video, but I always say just sit down, pray about it. And my big thing, especially as of late, well, not as of late, but I guess as of late too, but definitely the past year to year and a half, I have done a lot of self-reflection. And so at first, it was really hard for me to be the Christian wife that God taught, that I feel like God was calling me to be. And when I say that, y'all, I'm not saying like be submissive, and you know, a lot of people can, you know, run with that or take it how they want. But I think to be a good Christian wife, I need to first be a good Christian and just a good person in general. And then the wife thing kind of comes afterward, because if I'm not a good person to begin with, then it's really hard for me to transition from being a terrible person, or like not the kind of person that I want to be, to being a good wife or a good Christian wife. So I definitely say just some self-reflection, like some you know, just find out who you are. And when I started doing that, I think that really allowed me to like open up more and just to express my feelings to my husband a lot more, because a big issue with us was the fact that I was really like in my own head all the time, and I wouldn't communicate very well. I was always, you know, thinking I was one step ahead of him, or I was thinking, oh, I knew what he was gonna say, and that kind of thing. And so that definitely, you know, got us into a few arguments and that kind of thing. And so I've learned to like take a step back and, you know, just reevaluate myself first and try to be a good person overall. And then that would translate into the motherhood thing, because y'all, yes, the stress of 3 kids and a marriage is real, okay? And so, so yeah, so I think just know what your end goal is. Know that you want your family, you want your husband, you want like a cohesive family unit. And yeah, so yeah, she said she finds it hard to be the type of wife that God calls her to be with the stresses of motherhood. Y'all, yes, being a mother can be and will be stressful. And so like I said too, the main thing is like taking care of yourself first. And I hate to say it, but I've become very selfish this past year since my self-reflection journey. But I've become selfish in a good way, because I felt like I couldn't be a good mother, a good wife, a good Christian, a good person if I wasn't first, you know, good to myself, like find out who I am. And then that translated into me being a great mom, or trying to be a great mom, a great wife, and all that. So I think first off, just find your center, find yourself, and that will kind of radiate, and you will end up just, you know, you'll just end up being an overall better person, and your husband may pick up on it, and you know, the kids might not be as crazy and that kind of thing. Because I think when I was a little more chaotic, like people feed off of their environment. And so when I was a lot more chaotic and like crazy, then my household was a little more crazy. And since I've toned down a lot and I haven't been so anal retentive with the cleaning and the this and that, then my family's kind of mellowed out a lot. So you don't realize, like as the mother of the household, how much everyone feeds on you. Like your children feed on that energy, your husband feeds on that energy. And so I think just find yourself, center yourself, and be happy for yourself, and then you'll in turn be a great mom, a great wife, and you know, people will see it. So that's my advice. I hope that was a good answer. I don't know. Okay, the next question. Hello, Emerald. Hello. I'm a new subscriber. I enjoy watching your beautiful family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I recently watched your Ask Em segment, and I have a question. I am 18 years old, and all of my life I have struggled with a very low self-esteem. Sometimes I don't feel pretty enough, and other times I feel like the world is judging me. Do you have any tips or advice to help me with what I consider my daily struggle? Thank you. Yes, I do. I touched on this in my dark skin and confident video, but I grew up being told that I was ugly and black and, you know, all the things that people say that try to, you know, just belittle and demean and degrade people that are, you know, darker, of a darker complexion. If you're that type of person, then, you know, the first thing they say is, oh, you're black, you're darker, this and that, thinking that's gonna hurt my feelings. Y'all, I had to go in, like, I had to force myself to have high self-esteem. And my first thought was just like, you know what, they're just people, like, whatever, like, somebody's gonna think I'm attractive. I think I'm attractive, y'all. I'm not trying to be conceited, but all I ever heard was I was ugly because I was dark. So I was like, nobody ever said, oh, she looks like she got run over by a Mack truck in the face and she's dark, you know what I mean? So I was like, if all y'all can say is my skin is ugly or my skin is dark, then I'm good to go. And so a lot of times too, you can also pick up on people like, just deflecting, you know, things onto you, and you can tell when people pick on you and try to like keep you low and try to keep you with low self-esteem, and they themselves have low self-esteem. So when you go into it, like you said, you have very low self-esteem, you don't feel like you're pretty enough, start telling yourself you're pretty enough. Like, who's to tell you you're not pretty enough? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a firm believer, I know this is cliche, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think I'm beautiful. You should think you're beautiful too. I think you're beautiful. Like, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't say, oh, I want this, I want that. Like, just know you are who you are. Unless you're a Kardashian, then you can't change your face or you can't change the way you look. So it's like, you know what, embrace yourself. Like, find the things that you love about yourself. I'm sure there's at least one thing on your body that you absolutely love. So do that. Like, tell yourself what you love about yourself, and then you start finding little things too that you love about yourself, and block out the negativity, block out the haters. I'm not saying become conceited, but for self-preservation, you have to know that you are awesome, and no matter what, like, don't let anyone tell you that you're not. So that's what I did growing up. I don't have like any certain rule or, you know, that kind of thing. I just came to terms one day where I was like, you know what, I'm the crap. And if you don't think I am, then that's on you. And not to be conceited, but like I said, for self-preservation purposes, you have to make sure that you are telling yourself you're beautiful if you hear it from nobody else. And so that's what I had to do. I had to make the conscious decision to tell myself that I was beautiful every day. And now I have people telling me I'm beautiful all the time, and I never thought that I would ever hear that because I never heard it growing up. But I think it's just like when you tell yourself you're beautiful, and when your mind is beautiful and your spirit is beautiful, then that translates and that transcends, and people see that. So I think you're beautiful, and that's all that matters, okay? So forget the haters. Don't think you're not pretty enough, because you are pretty enough. God made you for a reason. He made you to look the exact way you look, and you're beautiful and you're perfect in his eyes and in his image. So hey, there you go, you're beautiful. Okay, and the last one. Hi Em, I heard on a previous vlog that you obtained your master's in counseling. I've been thinking about going back to school for clinical mental health counseling for the past year. I was accepted into the program at my alma y'all. At her school. Alma mater. I haven't started yet. I'm nervous. I just wanted to know how rigorous was your counseling program, and how you were able to juggle school, kids, and family. Thank you. Okay. So I received my master's. I started in 2011 when Carson was 6 or 7 months old, and I finished when she was, I finished in 2013, so she was 2, and it was like, Kylan was like 2 months old. No, he was 2 weeks old when I finished. So I had 2 years of my master's degree, and it was difficult. I mainly did it online though. I did an online cognate, and that was just, oh, it was so awesome for me. It's definitely an accredited school in Virginia, and we still had to go out to the community and do different things. Like, I had tons of projects and that kind of thing, but I was mainly able to do it from home, so that's how I survived. I did not go to campus during my graduate career, and that's how I was able to be a stay-at-home mom and still do school. There were times where I stayed up till 5 in the morning, and then I had to go meet with, you know, interview someone or do something random at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's like as rigorous as things got. But for the most part, I stayed at home and I completed it online. And like I said, it's definitely an accredited school. And yeah, so I'm not sure if your alma mater has like an online cognate or that kind of thing, but you can definitely look into that, because that's what saved me. I'm pretty sure I would have still done it if I had to go to campus, but it was just the ease of having 2 children at the time, and then being pregnant again with Kylan. I was really glad that I did the online cognate. And like I said, I had to leave the house. I mean, I can't even count how many times. I had to leave the house numerous times, but it wasn't like I had to leave the house every single day to go to class. I did most of my work online, and then I had a few assignments every semester where I would have to leave the children with a friend or my mom or something like that in order to get things done. So, like I said, most of mine was online, so that's how I survived. So if your school has an online cognate, an online option, you can take a few courses online to kind of help with the whole, you know, with the balancing, then definitely look into that. And I guess that's my only advice for that. I did most of mine online, so sorry. So, all right, y'all, this has been Ask Em. As I stated, if you have any more questions, comments, concerns, want advice, blah, 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 if you want to ask him anything, then leave it below if you don't want to be anonymous. And if you do want to remain anonymous, then send all of your questions and all that kind of stuff to edhill1988@gmail.com, and you'll be featured in the next Ask Him. And I'm pretty sure I will do these every week, or maybe, yeah, every week, maybe 2 times a week if I have enough questions. But I've had 3 questions the first time and 3 questions this time, so I'm pretty sure it'll be once a week. So once again, y'all, leave your questions below or send them an email, and I'll be sure to respond in the next Ask Him. All right, bye, y'all.